Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Kezya. I am the Spear Communication and Business Institute Indonesia students under the supervision of Mr. Charles Bonar Sirait as my mentor and lecturer. Right now, I am in my 6th semester and my major is International Relations. I am here today to discuss about a hot topic that is happening in our daily life, which is about the crisis of the energy in Indonesia. So, what is energy? Energy is essential to life and all living organisms. The sun, directly or indirectly, is the source of all the energy available on Earth. Our energy choices and decisions impact Earth's natural system in ways we may not be aware of. So it is essential that we choose our energy sources carefully. The true cost of energy is more than just dollars and cents. There are important economic, political, and social factors and consequences to consider as well. Indonesia is a country known for being rich in its natural resources, but apparently Indonesia lacks in terms of oil and gas reserves. The population growth in Indonesia causes the consumption of oil and gas is increasing. Nowadays, Indonesia oil and gas levels are only 2.5 billion barrels, and this 2.5 billion barrels is only sufficient for the needs in 8.7 years. This amount is far below the oil and gas capacity of our neighbor countries such as Malaysia and Vietnam. Indonesia faces an energy deficit threat because its public consumption is greater than the production of oil and gas. The amount of oil used by Indonesian citizens is around 1.7 million barrels per day, while Indonesia only produces 781,000 per day. Even though its lack of oil and gas, Indonesia still exports another natural resources to another country, such as coal. So in 2021, it is estimated that this energy deficit could reach 80 billion USD loss. So Indonesia government has come across a way for energy utilization. Although through this utilization, the oil and gas portion is decreasing, the energy mix is still not optimal because in terms of the volume, it is still increasing. In 2016, the oil demand was at 26.58 million oil equivalent, while in 2035, it is estimated the oil demand increases to 130 million ton. Then in 2060, it will rise again to 206 million ton. Therefore, Indonesia government plans to make the energy composition is more balanced by reducing the energy using fossil and switch it to renewable energy. So, what is a renewable energy? A renewable energy source means energy that is sustainable, something that can't run out or is endless like the sun. When you hear the term alternative energy, it is usually referring to renewable energy sources too. It means sources of energy that are alternative to the most commonly used non-sustainable sources like coal. So, Bauran Energy National stated that the oil and gas sector still plays an important role with a share of 53.7%. The coal sector has a share around 37.15% and EBT or renewable energy is only 9.15% share. Then in the next 25 years, the EBT share is predicted to increase to 31%, the oil and gas will decrease to 25%, also the coal will decrease to 25% share. There are a lot of crises and threats in achieving this estimated. One of the most difficult threats is oil and gas exploration is not easy to be found. In the last 10 years, the discovery of reserve is very small, only under 200 million barrels. If the amount needs by Indonesian citizens is on the scale of billions of barrels to fulfill its needs until 2050, meanwhile, long-term exploration also requires a large model and high at risk. Monetization is not immediately possible because it can take about 10 to 15 years. Therefore, investment is very important. However, interest in investment has also diminished due to existing regulation in the oil and gas sector. In the next 10 years, President Jokowi has set a target for oil lifting of 1 million barrels per day. Based on SKK oil and gas data, until the first semester of 2020, this national oil lifting had reached 90% of the 2020 state budget target, which is 730.3 thousand barrels per day. While for the gas, there are 5.605 million standard cubic feet per day. However, the oil target in 2021 is actually decreasing, even lower than the realization in 4 years. For 2021, oil lifting is targeted to only reach approximately 690 to 710 barrels per day. While for gas, the amount is in the range of 990,000 to 1.01 million. According to the government, this can attract investment in the oil and gas sector by $70 billion. This investment is up to 7 times the 2020 target of 11.6 billion USD. Of course, pursuing the lifting target of 1 million barrels per day requires extraordinary efforts for large investment targets, massive drilling programs, then increasing the volume of reserves, thereby maximizing economic value such as cost efficiency and minimizing profit sharing for the government. There are also new government steps to attract investment, including the provision of incentives, both from the first time the oil is produced. Then there is also taxation, and there are also other incentives designed specifically for investment. If the investment target and the lifting of 1 million barrels per day are achieved, the revenue from this sector will also increase. And in fact, the revenue target is estimated to reach $121 billion. Thus, this target figure increased 6 times from the 2020 target of $19.9 billion. The conclusion is that to advance the Indonesian state, there must be a support from energy sufficiency. Focus on long-term exploration, management of existing fields, and also untapped assets that can be the best solution to maintaining the future of national energy. So this is the end of our discussion about the crisis of the energy in Indonesia. I would like to thank you for your attention and hope that this sharing session give all of you a clear understanding of the energy crisis issue in Indonesia. And see you on our next discussion. Thank you very much.